Hey, it's Zim, and should you play Galactic Mining Corp? This game is available on Steam for $12.99 and is pretty fun. It has a mobile game feel to it, and that's both a good and bad thing. Because the good thing is it's very easy to pick up and play and just have a good time with. The bad thing is that it's not on mobile, and this is a game that I think a lot of people wouldn't choose to actively play on their PC. Anyway, what you're looking at is my HQ right now, and this is kind of your main hub. And throughout the game, you're going to be expanding this as you mine for cores and other resources to build your galactic mining empire. Now, there isn't much of a failure condition, as you'll see when we get into some mining. Everything is very much in your favor, very relaxed. Just play at your own pace, do what you want with the game, and enjoy it. It's got a pretty decent sense of humor. It's got a very unique art style that I like. It offers a lot of interesting things, and the tutorial, for the most part, is pretty good. Now, I do have a complaint with it, which is it'll go over the very basics, but then all these other rooms and you see on the side over here, it doesn't explain any of those except for when, let's say, we go into the core trait. You can hit this green question mark, and then the AI will bring up a tutorial to kind of explain what you're looking at. That's fine. It's kind of frustrating that they wouldn't just go over that as you unlock these rooms, because you don't start with all of them at first. I don't see why they wouldn't just be like, hey, this is what this room does as you unlock it. Now, as you can see here, we have a tech tree. As you drill through different planets and asteroids and comets and things like that, you unlock what are called cores. These cores are used here to essentially unlock different perks and benefits for your mining corporation. When I first saw this, I was really excited. I thought there'd be some really fun and interesting things. Unfortunately, my biggest disappointment with this game is probably this tech tree, which is there's nothing really interesting going on here. A lot of this is all just number buffs by like 5 or 10%. So your choice to make as you branch out through this tree feels very boring because you're just trying to maximize numbers. And I think that it would have been far more fun if they had interesting perks or designs or anything to just spice up this tree instead of, oh, I get 10% more ice resist or 10% more acid resist. So I was kind of disappointed by what that ended out to be. This is also how you're going to expand your HQ, and as you can see, we'll buy an HQ upgrade here, and we can jump back out. And so now we have this new building attached to our HQ, which we can then build rooms into. As you can see, we already have some rooms starting out. When you first start out, you get these first 2 rooms at the bottom here, plus a couple crew members. Crew members are also just stats, unfortunately. Everything kind of just crunches into numbers for this game, which, once again, would be great if it was just a mobile game, something that you'd play on your phone or your like iPad or something. This game would be fantastic. But due to the simplicity of this game, on your PC, you're probably going to not want to always come back to this game. I don't find myself being like, oh man, I want to sit down for a few hours with this game when I have other great games to play. But as you can see, we can then also build new rooms. Everything costs gold. Gold is very easy to obtain in this game. It's pretty much a resource you'll get basically for doing anything as you mine. Every tile can potentially give you gold. Chests will give you gold. Other things will give you gold. Gold is everywhere. So we'll go ahead and get these sleeping quarters, which, as we can see, will also give us some new crew slots. Now, I will say that's probably the toughest resource to find right now, at least in my current playthrough, is crew members. Now, you get crew members, you start with 2 of them. You can find them in the exploration area, which I'll show you in a bit. And then sometimes when you level up your corp, you will be rewarded certain crew members. If we look at our crew tile here, we can see each one has a little bit of flavor text. They also level up. As they level up, they unlock these permanent stat boosts. Once again, it's kind of a bummer because they're just numbers. Instead of doing something maybe quirky or fun or interesting, everything is just crunched to adding more to your base stats. Also, you can assign pilots, but once again, because crew are, at least right now, so hard for me to find, assigning pilots just doesn't seem worth it because we want to add the stats that they are giving us. So Big Al, for example, gives us drill power 10, drill HP 35, and ice resist 2, plus an additional bonus 5 drill power because he leveled up. If I put him as a pilot, it doesn't really explain whether or not I will lose those stats, or if he'll still contribute to them and also give me the core cash pop. Like I said, the tutorial is really good, except for once you get past the base of the gameplay, and then the tutorial kind of falls apart. Just a slight frustration I have with this game. You'll also notice that crew types are different. These are just going to basically be how they fit in different slots on your buildings. But if you don't have a slot for them, you'd be able to put them as a pilot as well, because pilots don't care what slot they come from, whether they're scientists, engineers, laborers, or business. However, that's not been the case right now. Leveling up also costs gold, in this case 5,000, hence why I haven't leveled him up yet. But let's go ahead and jump into the Explore menu. So, this is your main area, and at first you just start with your home comet that you're entirely based out of, and then you can start selecting these tiles to explore. So there's a cost to explore them. You go over there, and then you right click on the tile you want to explore once you're at that location to unlock it. And sometimes there's nothing, sometimes there's comets, sometimes there's planets, sometimes there's these dead sites where there's nothing there, and sometimes you find crew contracts. These are how you get additional crew members, but due to the nature of certain randomness, I have not seen bananas at all, so I cannot hire Cash McMoney. Because these are all the requirements I have to make before I get them. However, I've also found a contract for Camille, and once again, I just don't have the requirements because I've only seen one red thread. Now, I could go out and grind these stones, no problem. But because of the random nature of these certain items, it can be pretty frustrating to unlock new crew members. I don't know if these crew contracts out in the exploration window are random. I'm guessing they are. And in that case, every experience could be different. But we're going to head and do a mine over here. So we get the information on it, and we can see this is radioactive. So I would want to essentially find or build my drill to be more radioactive defensive. Now, at this point, I have what I have. There's not much I can change about that. So we will just have to try. But basically, the less defense you have, the more damage the planet's going to do. And this is the main menu for the game. So you can see we kind of float around, and we're going to want to dig down. There's different special tiles. This is like a chest. Gave us some gold there. And as you can see, we can start digging through. So there's different tiles you want to hit. Each one has a different ability. You'll also notice in the top right-hand corner here that this is a research bar. Every planet basically has a research requirement. Research will also be used to unlock certain things that you find in the exploration mode. Like I found a hangar, which would unlock an additional body for me, which required me to have 800 research. The only problem I have with the research is that there's no meter that tells you how much research you have outside of this menu. And once this gets filled up, it won't tell you either until you go somewhere and it asks for research. Then, and only then, will it tell you how much you have. And I wish it was just always located somewhere. We'll go ahead and keep exploring it. You'll also notice on the right side of the bar here, our ship is that white arrow at the very top. We'll go a little bit further down. And we're descending down. The closer we get down, that's where the core is. So we can tell how far we have to keep going. It also seems random on how these worlds are built and what tiles are filled where. And just like in like a mobile game, you're just going to be kind of drilling through different things to get bonus resources to eventually get to your goal. Like I said, this game, it's very relaxed. The music is actually really excellent. I enjoy the music style that they went with. I just wish it was a mobile game, because I know at the end of the day, I'm not going to want to play this over any of my other PC games. Now, if I'm doing something else, I might want to have this on the background or in the side. Maybe I'm hanging out, just chatting with friends or whatever. This is a perfect game for that. But as just your main game, I think you're going to have a very hard time justifying playing for it. And as you can see, our health is going down the closer we get to this more radioactive wave. That's because we just don't have that radioactive protection. Now, we also have a boost meter, which allows us to drill through faster, but obviously that will only last for so long. And it seems like we're not going to be able to get through this planet's core because of radiation. So what happens when your drill breaks? Nothing. You get all the resources and everything you mined. No problems. In fact, as they say in the tutorial, it's a good thing to have a broken drill. You just keep breaking them. You never have to repair them or anything like that. Everything is just happy-go-lucky. Just enjoy the game, drill. If it breaks, no big problem. You still get the resources, and you can keep going as many times as you want. Go ahead, go back to the exploration window here. And as you can see, this one wants ice. So if we have higher ice resist, it should be no problem. And as you can see, we've also recovered quite a bit of gold already. But this is your core gameplay. And it's a decent gameplay loop. Like I said, it's a fun game. I love the music. I honestly just don't see myself playing this outside of a mobile device when I'm on the go somewhere. Because when I'm at home and I'm on my PC and I can play any other game, I don't see myself choosing this one. As you can see there's an enemy who will chase you. There are different types of enemies, each one slightly annoying in their own unique ways. That's something the game will also do, is like it won't tell you about certain things that you can discover, which leads you to have fun discovering things, which I think it does very well. I think there's a very interesting thing of like wanting to discover more. Man, it looks like we're gonna freeze on this one. Yep. But once again, no problem, because we just get that gold and we bounce back. We can afford to give our crew these upgrades now. Now, one of the downsides is that if you don't upgrade your crew and you're not checking this regularly, as you can see, my scientist, who's been sitting on being able to upgrade for quite a while now, actually, I've been kind of neglecting him, doesn't get to generate XP past that. So if you're not constantly coming back to HQ to check on things, your XP will get capped, which is kind of annoying. In addition, you also have markets. These are things that can either give you permanent buffs or add new crates to find. So like if I were to buy this, and why not, we'll find these will give me a boost refill now available. I'll start discovering them as I'm mining through planets. I like the art style. Like I said, the music's fantastic. The game is solid and has a really enjoyable gameplay loop. I just honestly don't think a lot of people will end up playing this on their PC for a long period of time. I think it's interesting. I think it's fun. I think it really should be on a mobile device and not on PC. Because I honestly, as much as I enjoy this, I probably will not come back to this nearly as much as any other game I have in my collection. So, should you play Galactic Mining? Well, if you enjoy something very relaxed, decent music, a fun art style, something that's not going to be taken too seriously, it might be a game for you to check out. Like I said, it's only $12.99 on Steam. It's a solid price for what you're getting. However, just know that this recommendation also comes with the warning that this game you might find fun for a few hours, but then find yourself never really coming back to because there are other interesting games that you'd rather play instead. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below whether or not you've picked up Galactic Mining or are planning to, and whether or not you think it should be a mobile game instead of a PC game. Also, if there's any game recommendations you have for me, if there's a game you think I should check out, let me know as well. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that for me as well. It helps out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.